Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and I'm being hunted right now. Well, maybe not right now, but whatever. If you don't know what's going on, well, I've just been wandering through Mexico for 15 days. At least, I think it's been 15 days. I'm not much of a counter, but it's just been a while. I'm really tired. I just want to go home, but I came to Mexico to shoot a vacuum cleaner commercial. I just wanted to shoot a vacuum cleaner commercial, and then these guys jumped me in a parking lot. I don't want to think. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. But they said all kinds of mean things. I couldn't understand it because it was Mexican, but it was just, I could tell that it was not nice words being said to me. One word in particular they kept repeating was chupacabra. I don't know what that means. I'm just a tourist in Mexico trying to enjoy the sights, the beautiful scenery, and then I get jumped. Oh. But I was able to escape. Walked for 15 days. Now I found my way into this, I guess, this hovel in some kind of Mexican village. This place is a total dump. There's no way anybody lives in here. But right now I'm in the basement. There's just garbage all over the place. I found a microphone, though, which, that's how I'm talking to you right this moment. And I found a DVD of Black Christmas. And, I put two and two together, and I was like, well, there's no doubt those men are still chasing me. Might as well continue to hide out, pass the time, do a little commentary for Black Christmas, a holiday horror classic. One of the early slasher films. Probably the first one, kinda. It's debatable. The first one, let's not even get into it. Let's just watch the movie. Try to just forget all about Mexico. Even though I am in Mexico right now and I'm in danger, but whatever. Okay, we're gonna start the movie. Okay, I'm gonna count down from 3 to 1, and then I'm gonna say go. And that's how you're gonna sync the movie up with this commentary. It's all about syncing it. And some people have been complaining that I haven't been putting the movie with the commentary. That's not how it works, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just men listening to this. Oh, I hope not. Oh, God. Sausage fest. But yes, you're going to want to sync this up, and this is a separate audio track. If you want to download it, you can download it, but just so you know, I can't, copyright reasons, I cannot include the movie. You're just going to have to get it yourself. Either legally or illegally, it's all up to you. Just don't be a dick. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to count down from 3 to 1, and then say go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, movie's on. No real opening logo. This movie came out before you had those movie company logos for a lot of movies, especially indie movies. They're not gonna have some kind of Paramount logo or anything like that. Nope. Oh yeah, Margaret Kidder is in this movie, and if for the youngins who don't know who that is, that's Lois Lane, the original movie Lois Lane, who was a bit on the gritty side. Oh, and John Saxon is in this movie. He just loves appearing. He's got 2 horror movies under his belt, and maybe some other ones. Of course, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street series 1, 3, and New Nightmare. This movie has quite the. It technically does a lot of the stuff that Halloween would do first, but it's not as famous as Halloween. Oh, Bob Clark directed this movie. If you don't know already, you probably do, but Bob Clark also he did a whole bunch of other big movies, but he also directed another Christmas classic many years later. Well, not many, well, whatever. In the 80s, called A Christmas Story. Christmas Story is considered to be, the quintessential Christmas movie. Like, you know, TBS, it just marathons Christmas Story on Christmas Day. I think maybe on Christmas Eve, too, for 24 hours. It's that big of a deal, but it's also probably just because TBS is owned by Time Warner, who also owns Warner Brothers, and it's their biggest Christmas movie, so whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, POV, from the killer's perspective, spying on characters. That was kind of new. I mean, it was done. I'm pretty sure. But this is a slasher movie, and it's really hard to talk about whether or not this was the first one, because there's always a guy that, this movie came out, whatever. Early slasher film does a lot of the slasher stuff that would become standard slasher stuff first, before Halloween did it and popularized it. I think Halloween caught on mostly because the killer is a bit more... It's a bit more of a... it's a bit more easy to gravitate around, because the mask... that's pretty much it. Really, just the mask, I'd say. An iconic image. Black Christmas doesn't really have that iconic image that you... Well, it kind of does. Well, not iconic, but memorable images. Black Christmas has memorable stuff. Not iconic stuff, but memorable stuff. There's something about that one actress's accent that just gets on my nerves. That was actually something, I don't know. I thought, when I first saw this film, I thought just because Margaret Kidder was the most famous of the girls in the movie, I was like, okay, she's the main character, and she's a bit more on the, I guess, sassy side or whatever. Just not the typical survivor girl, but no, she dies. Oops, spoilers. You probably should not be watching this movie for the first time with my commentary, with me talking over it while I drink some water, and I'm like, my cup has a whole bunch of shit. Like, I put it on this dirty table, and there's just a whole bunch of shit on the bottom of the cup, and I'm just scraping it off. This is a great commentary. I suppose talking about nonsense is better than not talking at all. That's what I always say. Works for Congress. Oh my gosh, topical. Man, they must have been using some GoPro cameras or something. Jeez, it's actually, it is a great idea where it's just, instead of just having like some shadowy figure prowling around, you just put the camera on top of a guy and he walks around. But this is really the main draw for Black Christmas is the phone calls, because the guy's voice, the voice of the killer in this movie is just... I believe the actor's name is Nick Mancuso. He is just... He gives it his all. I don't know what I'm doing with this commentary. Because the thing is, I haven't watched this movie tons of times, so I don't know it like the back of my hand. I'm going to try my best, though. Really reassuring when I'm like 10 minutes into this commentary, when I'm just like second-guessing myself. Whatever. But man, Margaret Kidder was a stone-cold fox back when this movie came out. Isn't it weird? It's kind of weird to think that this movie came out same year as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 1974, pretty damn good year for horror movies, Oh, that Andrea Martin is in this movie, the one girl with the glasses, she also appears in the remake. I know I mentioned that in my review of the remake, but whatever. It's kind of cute, you know. It's kind of neat. I believe she was on Saturday Night Live before your time. I'm sure. Maybe not. I don't know. My demographics. I checked out my demographics for my YouTube channel, or the YouTube channel that I post to, at least. You know, demographics are okay. Well, here's the thing. My main male demographics are, I'd say, I think like 13 to 18 for males. I think, but with ladies, it kind of goes a little older than that. I think it's 18 to 26. Well, it's basically from the most of my viewers are teenagers or in their early to mid 20s, basically. Which is kind of surprising because you'd think more 40-year-olds or something would watch this kind of shit, but no. Teenagers. Teenagers are on YouTube. I know, it's crazy. But I should really be talking about this fucking phone call. It's really the heart of this movie. If you could say a horror movie has heart, it's what brings the killer to life. It makes him more than just a guy with a camera on his head walking around a house killing people. You get the idea. You just get inside this killer's fucking head with these phone calls. They're just they're thoroughly unpleasant. I really gotta say. I would never repeat any of this shit. That's how far it goes. And, you know, Margaret Kidder is thoroughly unimpressed. I'm sure she hears this stuff all the time, you know? She gets these kind of phone calls all the time. It'd be kind of funny if, like... It'd be kind of funny if, like, some fan called one of these actresses in the movie and did that. Actually, that probably would not be funny at all. That'd probably be frightening and not funny at all. But whatever. You know, Margaret Kidder is not known for this movie. She's known for Superman. You know, and smoking cigarettes. I think she smoked... Yeah, she smoked as Lois Lane, which was... I'm going to talk about Superman 2, because why not? Not a whole lot to talk about right now. Might as well talk about Superman 2. I love that one scene where, Lois Lane is making the, orange juice, because she's worried about her health, but at the same time she's, like, smoking a cigarette. That was pretty funny. That was a pretty funny scene. I really hope there's funny scenes in future Superman movies, because Man of Steel could have used some funny scenes. I don't know if you can tell, but Mark Kidder is basically the bitch of the sorority. The one chick with the weird accent, she's the main character. You've got Andrea Martin, she's the nerdy girl, and you have the house mother. And you just have a whole bunch of background ladies that don't matter at all. Oh, man. Plaid skirts. They need to make a comeback, you know? I mean, people wear plaid shirts now again that aren't lumberjacks. You know, plaid skirt, why not? Here comes, you know, this is the most famous, I guess, like the most iconic image from the movie. The, like, cause it is the poster. Like, the poster isn't some, like, iconic Christmas-oriented thing. The poster is a lady with, like, plastic wrap on her head being suffocated. Like, it's actually I guess that you could say the plastic wrap thing is the focal point of the movie. I don't know if I'm using focal point correctly. I like to say smart stuff occasionally because it makes me seem smart, but it's probably a bad idea when I don't know exactly what I'm talking about without researching ahead of time. Just so you know, this isn't scripted. This is improvised, but whatever. I like the saran wrap, like the girl with the wrap on her fucking face. It kind of is like a central image or whatever you could say it is, where they constantly go back to it, where the like the girl's corpse is never discovered, and it's just, well, I guess it is kind of discovered, but it's not discovered by any authorities or anything. And it's just sort of in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth throughout the whole movie, and they keep going back to it. And it's just this interesting little image, just to keep establishing it that, yeah, nobody knows what exactly is going on in this sorority house. There actually isn't. The thing about the killer is that there is no backstory for this killer. I guess there kind of is, because he kind of hints to his backstory, like little bits and pieces of it when he talks over the phone and shit. But he doesn't really. There's no point in the movie where like some guy comes and he says, "This killer is this guy, and we're trying to find him," or anything. No, he's just some random guy who wandered into the sorority house for no real reason. And he's just killing the ladies when he can. And that's kind of what makes it scary. In that regard, when you're just sort of chilling out, but maybe, just maybe, random unlucky chance, some guy just walks into your house or whatever and just hangs out in your closet and waits for the right moment to just finally fucking stab you in the head with a glass unicorn, I suppose. Why glass unicorn? Well, if you happen to own a glass unicorn, that's how it would work out. Or maybe they brought a glass unicorn and they stab you in the head with it. You never know. Really, though, because the killer isn't really that big of a... Because there isn't a ton of attention focused on the killer, there's no Dr. Loomis character or anything, the movie does focus a lot on the actual characters, where the characters do get a lot of attention because there's nobody worrying about the killer. So you have the characters having their own little stories, or just their own little scenes, and you get to know them a bit better. It's definitely something you can appreciate. You just gotta love that old lady afro hair. You don't really see that so often anymore. And, there's probably a good reason for that. Old lady afro hair on a young woman, yeah, it's not the best thing. Wonder where she's from. Let's see if I can guess. Maybe, it's maybe Romania. I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. You're listening to a commentary by someone who doesn't know anything about anything. Just wrap your head around that. Just so you know, this is the uncut version of the movie that I'm watching. I probably should have said that earlier for the sake of syncing up this commentary, but whatever. I don't know what's different in the uncut version. Again, I only really know a movie well if I researched it, but I haven't really reviewed this movie. I reviewed the remake, but I didn't have to really research the original. I just rewatched the original before I reviewed the remake, and that was pretty much it. I didn't really do any research. Didn't do any research before this commentary. Probably should have. Just to think of interesting shit to come up with. But, oh my god. Again, that's a little nice character. Like, it's a character trait or a character quirk or whatever. Where this lady loves to drink. and for some reason she has just liquor just stashed all over the place in just creative locations. She had it in the book. She had like a little liquor bottle in the book, and then she had a liquor bottle inside like the tank of the fucking toilet. And who knows where else. And there's that classic image of the girl with the fucking who's just been suffocated with like the fucking bag on her head. Right now, the killer's voice sounds a lot like Elmer Fudd from Looney Tunes. I don't know why I said from Looney Tunes. You should. What other Elmer Fudd is there? I mean, there's some other Elmers. There's Elmer's Glue, but that's pretty much the only other Elmer that I can think of. You know, some characters make it so you never see anyone with the name of that character ever again. You know, there's. When was the last time you ever met someone named Elmer? I don't think you met anyone named Elmer. When was the last time you met someone named Homer? You know, like Homer Simpson. I've never met anyone named Homer. Nobody's naming anybody Homer anymore because of The Simpsons. Nobody's really. Maybe Bart. I don't know. Bart, Lisa, Marge. You know, Simpsons characters. You know, there's not. Oh, whatever. I don't know. There was something I didn't like about this bald guy character, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe I didn't like the way he was treated by a character. I don't know. I'm gonna need this movie to refresh my memory. He was actually a pretty sad character, I think. Because you feel bad for him, because he's just sort of hanging out, but his daughter is long dead. But he sticks around. He sticks around until the end of the movie. Just... also, I don't think he ever finds out, like, by the end of the movie, what happened to his daughter, which... Why is there... Okay. Wait. I probably should be paying attention, but... Why is there... Why is there a Santa at this... I guess maybe they're doing some charity thing or whatever, but... At the, At this college, they have a Santa that's... Oh, look at that poster. The old lady giving the finger. So irreverent. But anyway, what was I saying about... Like, they have that Santa at the college, and I guess the kids go there to visit the Santa, because they had kids there. But why? Why at a college? I guess because it's a college town? I don't know, I only ever imagined there being, a Santa at a mall, or something else. You know, just, I don't know why malls are, like, why the Santas just flock to the malls. I don't understand that. I wonder why that is. You know, even as far back as, I believe, like, Miracle on 34th Street, or whatever the fuck it is, they had a mall, like, they had a Santa at, it wasn't a mall, it was a department store, you know. There's something about stores and Santa that just go together, you know? I'm rambling, of course, but what else is there to do? Currently, in the scene, it's just the house mother kind of just dicking around with this bald dude. I could be... There's some really good horror commentaries, like the commentaries for the Universal horror movies. They have like film scholars, and their commentaries are heavily scripted, and they're just reading off it. and they have all these interesting facts, and they say this this actor was also in this, and they went on to do this, and they died at this, and here's an ironic detail about them. Not with me. I just ramble and occasionally maybe have some interesting point of view, but for now. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I think the cat dies in this movie. That's kind of sad. I don't know. I find people find dogs dying more sad than cats dying. Cat dies, whatever. Cats are kind of dicks. They're cute, but they're kind of dicks. But whatever. Especially a cat named Claude. The cat in this movie is named Claude. Actually, I don't think the cat dies. I think they just lead you to believe it, but I think the cat actually lives. Man, she's kind of like the house mother is a total. Pardon my French, a bitch, a bit of a bitch. There's no reason to flick a guy off who's looking for his daughter in your poorly managed sorority house. But oh well, it happens. Oh yeah, the for the for the survivor girl's story in this is that she's pregnant and she's grappling with whether or not she wants to get an abortion. Very dark. I actually think maybe this was the first ever dark Christmas movie, because of course it's called Black Christmas, but I wonder if this was the first ever Christmas movie that was just like R-rated. We're gonna be dealing with abortion. We have a killer in the house. I think at one point they say that a child, like a little girl, was murdered in the park. I think they talk about rape. Very graphic phone calls. Yeah, I think this may have been the first ever dark Christmas movie ever. And just so you know, I'm just gonna spoil it, because the boyfriend of the main character is a total red herring. You're supposed to think, oh, he's the killer, but no, he again, the killer. You never know anything about the killer. I kind of already spoiled it before when I said that. You never get to find out what the deal with the killer was. You're just left wondering, who was that killer? We'll never know, because there was never a sequel to this movie, which is pretty surprising, really. This movie came out before the big horror, the big slasher movie boom, so sequel mania was not in full swing yet, and I guess it just got forgotten during the 80s, and the sequel just never happened, and now we have the remake, which, it doesn't really need a sequel. I'm just surprised that there is no sequel, especially a sequel that ruins the killer for everyone. And explain the killer. As far as we know, the killer is named Billy. In the remake, his name is Billy Lenz, and they give him they go totally against what this movie does and give Billy just this huge detailed backstory. I'm pretty sure half of the remake was backstory, was just flashbacks to Billy's childhood and how he was raised and shit. How he was, I guess, sexually abused by his mother. Yeah, it was a pretty terrible childhood. And you can definitely understand why a guy like that would become a killer. I can't say I like those kind of backstories, though, because it's just it's so obvious. It's like the Halloween remake. When they have, the horrible stuff happening to them, it just becomes a little too, of course. A little too, there's no doubt in your mind when you find out, oh, Is this guy a killer? No, you. Of course they're a killer. I actually kind of like this one police officer. Oh, that guy, that bald guy in this scene right now, kind of looked like an older version of David Cross. Oh man, that was a real that was just stone cold. Margaret Kidder. If for some reason you're listening to this as background noise, Margaret Kidder said, you know, for a social worker or civil servant, you suck. Oh, I don't know. I lost track of it already. Whatever. I wonder if that. I wonder if that's a. If the door is significant. Again, I didn't. I probably should have rewatched this movie before doing a commentary, but you know what? Fuck it. It's been a year since I watched this movie. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Oh well, I'm just passing the time, hoping I don't die. I'm just waiting for the sun to rise and maybe find some Mexican authorities to help me out. Hopefully. And again, me no speak Espanol. I think that's how they say it. I don't know if they say me no. Actually, I'm pretty sure they don't. I don't know what I'm talking about. This was a really weird joke because Margaret Kidder says that she lives on Fellatio 208 whatever, that her address is Fellatio, and the police officer just rolls with it. He doesn't realize it. It was a very weird joke, and I think they carry the joke forward in the movie. He's it's weird because you sort of you're sort of like, okay, he's kind of suspicious of what she's saying, but then later on in the movie, they seem to indicate that yeah, he's an idiot and he fell for it totally. I don't know. Oh yeah, that her boyfriend is multi talented. I believe he plays piano, and oh wait, no wait, wrong dude. I thought it was the same guy. No, it's I thought the piano guy also played hockey. It's been a while since I watched this movie. Could you imagine, like that hockey player has like a pretty cool looking mask. It's this multicolored hockey mask with kind of a face built into it with all these designs. That actually wouldn't be such a. That would actually be a decent mask for a killer or something in a movie. You know, honestly, if they it actually would have been kind of neat. Well, then again, it would have been kind of neat for Billy Lenz in the remake to have a mask and have it be that mask from this movie as a callback. Then again, hockey mask killer, it's been done. Even though the mask existed before Jason, yeah, Jason kind of has been rolling with the hockey mask thing for quite some time. So, yeah, let's think nothing of it. Man, he is really fucking up this piano recital or whatever the fuck it is. Again, I'm saying recital. I just hear that said on TV shows and movies. I don't know if this would be considered a recital. I could be like Googling shit, but I'm not, because I'm watching this on the laptop and I don't have anything else to Google stuff on nearby. So you're stuck with me like I am. Oh here. Oh, let me listen to this scene. Yeah, man. My nose has been kind of runny lately. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been crying. Okay, so yeah, I've calmed myself down since I came into this somewhat familiar building. I don't know. I don't know. There's something about this place that looks familiar, but whatever. Oh my god, this is so weird now because back when this movie came out, I guess there weren't tons of like abductions and killings of children and all that shit. This movie, they just sort of when that lady is being interviewed about her missing daughter, the John Saxon's just like she's probably just messing around or something. Like it's not taken seriously at all, even though she's been gone for maybe a day or just a few hours. A little girl being gone for a few hours, pretty damn big deal. Pretty damn big deal. It would make the news now. Certainly. Right away, it would make the news. Yeah, this guy totally sticks around. Like, he stays for dinner with the sorority house. I'm talking about the dad of the first lady that got killed. He is just a total, then again, maybe he's just like, free food. I want some free fucking food. Okay, for some reason, Margaret Kidder's character has, I guess she has like a fucking porno magazine, and I think she's like cutting pictures from the magazine out. Her character is actually my favorite character in the movie just because of how amusing she is. She's a total drunk. She's just a wreck. I'm just listening to Margaret Kidder right now. I'm sorry. You're listening to this as background noise. Whatever. I wonder what Margaret Kidder didn't really do a whole lot more besides this. And I think she did Superman 1, Superman 2. She skipped Superman 3 because I think there was some kind of drama or whatever going on there, and her character was replaced by Lana Lane, which Lana Lane was in the first Superman movie, but she wasn't a love interest. Whatever. Yeah, they instead of Lois Lane, they had Lois Lane, then they had Lana Lang. Very coincidental in the comics that Superman happens to have the hots for someone named Lana Lang, and then goes to Lois Lane. Very coincidental. Very strange, but whatever. But Margaret Kidder was also, I believe she was in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Not totally sure, though. That's pretty much it. She was in another movie. The only other movie she was also in Halloween 2, was that psychiatrist. That was really fucking weird. A terrible movie that I watched all the way through that she happened to be in was Somebody's Watching. I believe that's what it's called. It was a kind of horror movie that I guess it was direct to TV, and it was made in Canada, and it's about this lady, kind of similar to this movie. It's about this lady who moves into this house with her son. And it turns out that she's being stalked by a dude, and the dude in the house befriends the son, but she thinks the dude in the house is just his imaginary friend. It's a kind of scary idea, but the execution was just terrible. Just horrible. Yeah. I'm sorry. Coughing. Yeah, the dude with the like the piano guy that the main character is into, he again, total red herring. Like they have him just freaking the fuck out throughout the movie because of his fucked up piano playing. Like, and you're just led to believe, yes, this guy is the killer because he's the only guy established in the movie that has some fucking problems going for him. Which, yeah, it really works as far as I guess he just happened to be just a fucking weird artist guy that can't handle anything well. Then again, I'd be, I don't know if I'd be, but I can definitely understand being kind of pissed off by your girlfriend saying that the kid that you want is going to get aborted. It's not so fun. It's not a fun thing to have to deal with, but yeah, maybe handle it a little better. Maybe talk things through. I'm just rambling right now. And yeah, they are doing now in the movie. They are looking for the missing child, and it's just sort of a thing in the back. Made a weird fucking noise just now. It's just sort of a thing in the background that's going on. That's just it. Just sort of hints to the minor backstory of the killer, where yeah, the whole sorority thing isn't his first thing. I think maybe he went to the sorority house because I guess it was nearby, and it had some more young women for him to kill, and he was just like, this is perfect, and it's also a good place to hide out from the police that will no doubt be looking for him, I guess. But again, the killer is just, he's insane. He's a total fucking lunatic. So you don't really know exactly what his game is. You don't know why he's doing it, and that's what's scary. It's what you don't know. It's what you don't see. That's the most scary, because then like anything can happen, and anything can happen to you, and what's coming after you could look like anything that's scary to you in your imagination, That cat is just, I don't know what that cat was doing. The cat was just like licking the fucking bag over her head, over the dead chick's head. It's a bit strange. It's very strange behavior for a cat, because my only experience with cats as far as attacking a dead body is in Batman Returns, another Christmas classic, I might add, where all those cats come out of the alleyway and just start biting at Selena Kyle's fingers. That was a very weird scene. I don't know what they were thinking with her origin story, where she dies and all these cats just sort of bite at her and then they bring her back to life. That was very, very strange. Oh, that Tim Burton, he is just filled with just wonderful ideas. Then again, it might not have been his idea, but maybe he was pushing. Then again, you never know, because certain things he probably could have been pushing for. And I'm talking about Batman Returns right now, when I could be talking about Black Christmas, but man, I'm just tired and nothing's going on in the movie right now. Something eventually will be happening. Horror movies can be kind of a bummer to do commentary on, because you have you have the building of suspense. And a lot of the building of suspense, nothing really happens that you can talk about, It's great to look at. It's great to, watch it and be like, what's going to happen next? I don't know. Okay, something about this lady's death, the way she dies in this movie, it just reminds me of, if a Scooby-Doo villain was a killer, it just seems like that would be the way a Scooby-Doo killer would kill somebody, where they just throw a hook, or just throw I guess you would call it a hook, just a rope with a hook on it, just throw it, and then the hook goes in the, I guess it would be Daphne's head, goes into Daphne's head, and then it just pulls Daphne up. Totally seems like that's how it would go if Scooby Doo suddenly became dark and violent. God willing, we will get a dark and violent Scooby Doo at some point. I can only hope so. Oh man. The great thing about talking over a movie is that you don't know what's going on sometimes. I don't know what that dude was up to. Because I'm talking instead of listening and paying attention. Oh well. It don't matter. Oh wait, I think that guy dropped her off or something. He was like, fuck her, she's not coming out. Oh my gosh. The killer, like the guy playing the killer, it was just he is just fantastic. I heard that they came out with a new DVD for this movie, and Nick Mancuso, who plays the killer in this, does the commentary track for it as the killer, mind you. That sounds pretty damn wild, if you ask me. That's definitely a selling point. Oh my, just random nonsense for an hour and a half, which is basically this commentary already, but good random nonsense, not just a jumble of random nonsense. Talking about Batman Returns. Oh my god. Talking about this seems like something that would happen in Scooby Doo if this kind of thing could happen in Scooby Doo. Eh. Yeah, they find the body. I could have sworn this happened a lot later in the movie, but I guess not. Again, that that dad just sticks around for a fucking long time. Just he's practically the main character, and he doesn't die. I might add. He's just having the roughest Christmas you could possibly imagine. Well, kind of, it's probably rougher for that mother seeing her dead daughter. And just they don't show the corpse at all, which that's a tasteful thing to do, especially since this movie came out in 1974. It's hard enough to deal with the death of a child in a movie. It's even harder to deal with showing the corpse of a child. And again, because you don't see it, you can just imagine any horrible condition she could possibly be in. It's and based on just all the horrible shit that happens to children now, when these killers and abductors and whatever are out there, you can imagine it's a pretty terrible fucking thing that those people had to see. I do believe, though, I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that they had a few different voices for when the killer's voice changes, because sometimes his voice sounds like a lady's voice, and I think that's him. I get maybe imitating his sister Agnes. I think her name was Agnes. I'm not sure, but again, the killer was a lot more fleshed out in a bad way in the remake, and you get to know more about his sister too. Not the best thing, and fleshed out in the sense that he now has yellow flesh. So yeah, that kind of fleshing out. That's always the best kind of fleshing out. You flesh out a character by giving them yellow flesh. Awesome play on words on my part, I have to admit. Main character has a lot of close calls with this killer. Though that's not the killer. That's Peter, her sweetheart, or kind of sweetheart. You know. I want that. Yeah. I wish. Yeah, I want that turtleneck that guy's wearing. This is green turtleneck sweater. Not bad. This is a pretty good looking dude, you know? Okay, this is kind of getting gay. Okay. For some reason, he kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey. I don't know. I like how the first time I mentioned someone's good look. No, wait, actually, no. The first time I mentioned someone was good looking in this movie was Margaret Kidder. So, okay, it balances it out. First one was straight. The second time was gay. Okay, so balances it out. I just have to mention that another woman looks great looking, and then it's only one third gay, I guess. This commentary. He's just he just wants all like that dad is everywhere. He's just like trying to get as much information he can get. He's just sort of snooping around. Again, and he's not really that important to the story, but he's always around, and it just adds another layer to the story that you don't that's not necessary, but it just yeah, puts adds a bit more humanity to it, you know. Again, that's something horror movies need to figure out more often, because it happens in horror movies, it just doesn't happen a whole lot. Again, the thing about a lot of horror movies is that they just sort of go straight to the stereotype characters that are broad and anyone can fucking relate to, I guess, as far as, oh, there's the jock, there's the promiscuous girl, there's the survivor girl who's kind of nerd, there's the nerdy dude who's going to die, who's kind of pathetic, you know, all those stereotypes, but it's not so great. This movie, the characters are a bit more deeper, and there's a lot of shit going on with them in their lives. Like, they have a life beyond. They have a life and problems beyond just the killer coming after them, and you just have to appreciate that. Because even with Halloween, you just sort of go into it, and Laurie Strode's only real problem is, it's understandable. Her only real problem is that she doesn't really have, I guess, a boyfriend. That's pretty much it. Only real problem that I can think of that she's thinking about with her friends, like, just thinking about, should I go out with Ben Tramer? No way. No way in hell. That haircut on that dude, not so great. I don't know, the long hair and part of it parted to the side. I don't know. John Saxon looks pretty good in this movie. Oh no! Oh god, two gay things. Okay, what? Man, it's actually pretty weird though seeing John Saxon this young. I'm so used to seeing him middle aged in like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Yeah, he also did fucking. Well, he did the Bruce Lee movie, the fucking Eye of the Dragon, or fucking. I can't fucking think of the name. What? Who cares? It's the famous Bruce Lee movie. Okay, that's all you need to know. That happened to have John Saxon in it. I'm recording this while I'm really tired. Been chased by dudes for who knows how long. Bit tired. I don't know why I'm passing the time. I guess I'm just too scared right now that I can't just just go to sleep. So I gotta record this commentary. I'm honestly waiting for this movie to end because I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not gonna have a whole lot to talk about for another. I think we got. What is that? That's 46 minutes. That's not bad. Yeah, this is what messes me up with this police officer, because it seems like he was suspicious about the fellatio street or whatever the fuck it was, but then he shows he makes it very clear that he's just a fucking dummy. He's just a fucking dum dum. That dude's just laughing at him. That dude kind of looks like the dad from, what was it, Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles? One of those John Hughes, Molly Ringwald fucking movies. That police officer is just a laughing stock. He's dumber than Chief Wiggum. Well, then again, maybe not. Because Chief Wiggum fell for 123 Fake Street. Okay, so yeah, no. Chief Wiggum is definitely dumber. Whatever. Same kind of thing, though, you know? And again, maybe not, not everyone's gonna know the word fellatio, I guess. That's some pretty heavy stuff. Whole abortion thing. I'm laughing about it. Again, that's the kind of thing. He kind of gives her a veiled threat, and that's what makes you think, okay, he's going to be the killer. I'm debating whether or not I should talk about my opinion about abortion. No, I'm not. I will say, if you want to get an abortion, go do it. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about right now. Oh my god. Even if you're a dude, if you want to get an abortion, go ahead and do it. You'll figure it out, I guess. Maybe they'll abort you. You're a dude coming and getting an abortion. Let's just abort this guy, and they fucking shoot you in the head. Oh boy. This is a masterful commentary. I'd like to hear Nick Mancuso talk about this kind of shit. Because he can't. Honestly, I'm kind of speculating about what that commentary is like. I'd say it would probably just be like spur of the moment, like he sees stuff happening in the movie and it just sort of triggers random images and words in his head, and he just sort of goes off of that and is totally improvised. I remember there for I think it was the Blair Thumb. I don't know if you remember that they had these Thumb movies. There was Thumb Wars, the God Thumb, there was Franken Thumb, Thumbtanic. What was the other? There was another one. I said Blair Thumb. There was another one though. Trying to think of it. God Thumb? Did I say God Thumb? Okay, well, I think I said all of them. Anyway, for the Blair Thumb DVD, they had a commentary that was just an insane commentary where all the people who worked on the or not movie, just the TV special, whatever, they just spoke nonsense the whole time, or it was just random baby talk that just didn't make any sense. That it was a pretty funny commentary, because at one point they suddenly just start talking normally, and then they go back into talking just random nonsense. Yeah, it was a really funny commentary. Commentary can be fun. Who was that guy? Oh yeah, that was one of the police officers putting a wire so they could trace phone calls. They get a lot done tonight. I gotta say, they get a lot of stuff done tonight. They find a fucking dead body. They and then they tap a phone line. Yeah, it's just a full night. It's just a full Christmas night. You know, is this Christmas Eve? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure because it is called Black Christmas. It's not like it's gonna take place a few days before Christmas or a few days after Christmas. No, it's probably gonna take place. Oh man, on Christmas Eve. I've always been kind of confused about. Some people are like, Christmas Eve. That's Christmas, and then there's I don't know. Whatever. It's very dumb thing to be wondering about. Again, it's just John Saxon talking to Andrea Martin and that one chick with the fucking accent. Not a whole lot. And also, they have a dude in the car waiting for the killer to show up. You know, they really cover their bases, but they still fall down. They're still the downfall. And again, the boyfriend's just sort of skulking around, so you're just like, he's the killer. But you know, it doesn't really make sense though, based on the language of the killer as far as how he's presented, because they have the killer and he's presented in the first person, like it's POV most of the time, or sometimes he's in the shadows, or sometimes you see his eye, and that's how it works. So it wouldn't make sense for them to suddenly have the guy who's the killer, but he's just in plain view. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. And you can kind of see it going where they're just sort of trying to trick you, because you just gotta be, I guess, a little savvy about, I suppose, consistency of how something is presented. I don't know. I'm trying to be insightful, okay? It's kind of hard. It's a bit tricky, especially for an hour and a half. Honestly, I think I'm getting better at this commentary thing, though. I think this commentary, at least as far as talking, it's a bit better. It's a bit better than the two I did before. I think I'm getting better at just talking over a movie and knowing when to stop and knowing when to start again. I think I'm doing better. I'd say this commentary is the worst as far as information and insight, but it's better as far as me talking. I sound like I got my shit together. And also another thing, I don't think I've been saying like or any of that other bullshit when I'm trying to think. So that's an improvement. That right there is an improvement. I just need to watch another movie that I know extremely well. Then I'll be set. This movie I don't know extremely well. As much as like Halloween or Friday the 13th. Then again, some people are like, this commentary is not informative at all. Well, I guess it kind of is, because honestly, if you want an informative commentary, you're not going to come to me. You're going to fucking watch the actual director commentate over it, because that's better. Oh, he also kind of starts decorating the dead chick, giving her a little baby doll. I guess he's trying. I guess he pretends that the dead chick is his sister. Is his little sister, I suppose. Yeah. I think I remember, like, John Saxon. Actually, that's kind of the funny thing. John Saxon also plays a police officer in this movie, just like in Nightmare on Elm Street. It'd actually be kind of funny if it turned out that Black Christmas and Nightmare on Elm Street was connected in some way. Of course, it's not. But it'd be kind of funny if it turned out that, yeah, the John Saxon police officer character. I don't remember if John Saxon dies in this movie, but if he doesn't, it'd be funny if he basically had to leave town because he was so embarrassed or whatever about how he handled the situation. So he's just like, okay, I'm gonna move to Springwood, and he changes his name and shit. Oh man, Margaret Kidder dies a lot earlier than I remember, huh? Oh yeah, she has asthma. For some reason, I always just imagine like somebody having asthma is just a total fucking nerd. But I guess that's unfair. Still, it's just the stereotype that I was raised with by the television. Because of course I was raised by the television. I know I have said that I've been around, but you know you can have. I've been around for a while, but you know you can have TV as far back as before history was even recorded. You can have television that far back, okay? And they and they have TV shows that talked about asthma a lot, you know. But man, she has asthma, but she's smoking. Oh my god, that's gotta really fucking suck. It's gotta really fucking suck, man. She's just sort of napping. She's had a long Christmas Eve, I guess. Mostly she just got drunk and sat around. And not the most eventful Christmas Eve. Oh yeah, these Christmas carolers come at just the worst time because I think they distract the main character while Margaret Kidder gets killed. Very convenient, I have to say. I don't know why these carolers go to a college though. I don't know. I don't see. I didn't really see any. I don't. I guess maybe there is an adult behind, like in the back. Yeah, I think that's an adult woman in the back singing. Because otherwise, it'd be kind of weird. I don't think you could get a child to go out caroling. Just like, yeah, I'm a little kid and I just love to go Christmas caroling. You know, no. Especially now. Just, I want to fucking play Call of Duty or text my friends. I don't want to go Christmas caroling. That's fucking stupid. Especially on Christmas Eve. I don't know how late at night this is right now. It feels like the night has been going on for a while and a lot of stuff has been going on. So, part of me is like, this has to be like 11 o'clock, maybe even midnight, maybe even past midnight. And there are Christmas carolers outside just sort of singing. But again, I'm just guessing. Who knows how time works in these movies? Because it's kind of the same thing with Halloween. You just sort of have to speculate about how late at night it is. Because part of me feels like Halloween, like it has like by the end of Halloween, it has to be like November 1st, and so Halloween 2 has to take place on November 1st is morning or whatever. Fuck, I'm saying first is. Man, those shadows are just in the right spot where all you see is that one eye. Oh man. Because yeah, that's the thing about the boyfriend being the killer is that it doesn't make sense. Because if they're trying to tell you that, why would they hide the killer's face for certain parts of the movie? So, yeah. Whatever. That bitch be distracted as shit. I don't remember if Andrea Martin dies in this movie. I know she dies in the remake. Actually, I think she survives. Yeah, that is not Andrea Martin. I guess I just thought it was. Because the glasses and I guess the hair. But no, that's an older woman. Let it ring. Would this movie work today with a cell phone? I don't know. And again, I don't know if this movie would work today at all, because I feel like people have a bit more common sense. Because honestly, if I'm getting these kind of phone calls and I'm mostly alone in a building, I'd be just like, yeah, I'm gonna. This is a big place. This is a big house. I'm gonna get out of here because I feel like probably the guy could be inside the house or whatever. I'd just be like, fuck it. Yeah, these phone calls get really creepy. Man, like before computers, you just had like to trace a phone call. You're like going through this hallway of fucking machinery and shit. That must have been super fun tracing phone calls back in the 70s and before the 70s. Must have been really, really just a joy. That would actually kind of, I don't know if it would work as a game, but just the idea that you have to you have to trace a phone call, but you have to keep the killer on the line long enough. I don't know if that would work as a game though. I don't, because if the killer's on the phone, they're gonna try to kill you, or I don't know. Yeah, the sun just rose. It's pretty early in the morning for this shit. I'm gonna keep going though. Just a half hour left of the movie. Again, the movie has a whole bunch of other stuff happening on this night. Stuff that the police have to do because the police, because in Halloween, all you get, all you really, all the police seem to have going for them on Halloween night is this Loomis guy says there's this killer escaped, and that's pretty much all they're shown to be dealing with. But this movie has a whole bunch of shit going on with the police and stuff. Again, it could be argued that this movie is technically better than Halloween. You could argue that. In fact, I think maybe it is technically better than Halloween. I don't know. I think it might be. Again, I like Halloween better because of Michael Myers. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird, sort of picky thing as far as preferences go, I guess. But this movie just doesn't have the iconic stuff. Look at that! There's just that old lady nightgown that Andrea Martin's wearing, and it was that weird time for being a female nerd. There was just not the kind of shit that ladies can be nerdy about now. And of course ladies can be nerdy about anything, but just the stuff that generally appeals to ladies that ladies could be nerdy about, Because I don't know if ladies were being nerdy about, like, reading Superman comics back in the 70s. Some might have, but, generally no. Now there's all kinds of stuff, like card captors. I keep going back to card captors. Whatever. I love my commentaries. They're so great. I love the fashion of the 70s. Just like, I don't know, like, let me see. He's wearing a plaid shirt. Just like the haircut and the glasses. Where it's a middle-aged guy trying to be kind of fashionable, where everyone was trying to be fashionable in some way. Everyone was trying to make a statement. Even people in their fucking 50s or 40s or whatever. You know, you're trying to stand out in the crowd, you know? And he has like those sideburns too. I'm talking about like the technician or whatever, the guy and trying to trace the phone call. Oh man, my stomach. Oh fuck. Must suck. It must suck having to work on Christmas Eve, especially late at night. Oh man, that's gotta suck. I'm sure some people have to do that. That's gotta suck. Maybe you're listening to this commentary on Christmas Eve while you're working at night. I'm sorry, man, or woman. That's gotta suck. That's gotta really really suck. Unless you work at home, then you know that's on you. You have your own schedule. You don't have to work at night on Christmas Eve. So don't fucking cry about it. God. Assuming that the only people listening to this commentary are Christian or at least celebrate Christmas but aren't necessarily Christian. Christmas is a fun holiday, whether or not you're Christian or not. You know, it's you don't have just the Santa and the tree and all that shit. It has nothing to do with a baby being born, so you can just get straight into it. It's a very user-friendly holiday. Hanukkah, not a user-friendly holiday where you can just not be Jewish but still light those candles and shit. No, you're not gonna do that. And Kwanzaa, you know, if you're not black, then it's just not gonna work out. You know, it's just gonna be kind of weird celebrating Kwanzaa. Christmas, it's very open. Even if you aren't Christian, you can just sort of enjoy. You just sort of enjoy the Christmas tree, the presents, I guess the movies also that have nothing to do with Jesus. You just love it all without ever once thinking about, oh, a savior was born this day. No, 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 no. It just kind of has his name in the holidays title or whatever, but no. Yeah. Great commentary. I think I'm doing a really grand job. I keep talking about my own commentary in this commentary, and you know that's great when that happens. I think I'm gonna take a break right now. Okay, I'm back from my little break. Turned out to not be that little of a break. I thought I heard something outside, so I did some hiding, ducked for a little while, and then I fell asleep. And yeah, I know it's not a good idea to fall asleep when you have a bullet wound, but you know, yeah, I have a bullet wound, and yeah, I got grazed by some gunfire a little while back. Probably shouldn't have slept, you know. I'm kind of lucky. It's kind of lucky that I woke up. I don't know. Well, whatever. I can't remember what happened in this movie. I don't even know what movie I'm watching. Let me. Okay. Oh, Black Christmas. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot about this film. My knowledge about this film is encyclopedic. Those guys are really helpful. The guys with the guns that don't hang out with the vulnerable young women when there's a killer around. You know, they're just checking up on them. On these two girls, just checking up on them. Man, John Saxon's just sort of hanging out. Okay, I hear some more noise out there. I don't know. Yeah, this is kind of sketchy. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try to stay safe. Okay, okay, I think, yeah, I think the noise is gone now. Alright. Man, they had some wild Christmases back in 1974, you know? You know, besides the murder, you know, wild Christmases. That is just the. That nightgown is just. That is not cute. I'm sorry. You cannot get more conservative than that fucking nightgown. Well, I think this is where that's where Andrea Martin gets killed. Ah, man. I'm kind of bummed. I don't know, I'm just waiting for this movie to be over because there's nothing to talk about right now. Okay, let me think of some trivia. Okay, well, I know that. I think I mentioned that already. I think there was multiple. Yeah, I mentioned that. Fuck. What's some trivia I know off the top of my head? Well, it's called Black Christmas because they wanted. I believe they wanted. You know, you got that familiar, happy holiday that everybody loves, I guess. But then you have black at the front of it, and nobody likes anything black. Because people were racist back in the 70s, so you just put black in front of there, and yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. Ugh, God. Fucking terrible. Again, I'm dealing with some internal bleeding, so I don't have my head in the game right now. Okay, no, I don't think. I think maybe he already killed Andrea Martin. Maybe that's her. The sound of her dying. I don't know. Honestly, I'd just get out of there. I just go. I don't. That's kind of a problem with this movie. Is it just seems a little far fetched that the main character would stick around. I don't know. I'd just be too fucking creeped out. I want to go where there's just tons of people in that kind of situation. Then again, I am a monster, so I don't have to worry about getting victimized. It's not like some guy comes into my house and tries to kill me. Well, I mean, sometimes, but they're not a scary guy. They're usually some fucking self-righteous wingnut. But that's neither here nor there. Ah, man. It just seems really complicated tracing a phone call. I don't know. I just feel like it probably just was not worth it. All that extra work. No way. You know, the killer could have had a really great recording career, you know. He's a bit like that one guy from the Police Academy movies. Can't remember his fucking name, but the guy who does all the sound effect shit with his just his voice. He could have been something like that, you know? He doesn't have to kill people. And who knows, maybe he was just doing this to practice his craft. And he gets really into it. You never know. Yeah, so it's the classic. The phone calls are coming from inside the house. I don't know if that had been done before in a horror movie yet. I think maybe this was the first time that happened. But I think Stranger Calls came out later and based the whole premise around this plot point where the stranger is in that. It pretty much was the same movie as this. But I think I don't know. I never saw the original Stranger Call. I saw the remake, but I didn't see the original. I don't know. From what I heard, it wasn't that great of a movie. It's a great title though. You know, sometimes a horror movie just coasts on its title, where it just has this really nice title, and that's what makes people go watch it, I guess. Where you're just like, that's a cool title, gotta watch it. some horror movies have cool titles and they're great movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, pretty great title because you're just like it just like it's a title that just makes sense where you hear it and you're like, yeah, that works. I'll go see it. Black Christmas, also a pretty good title. Not as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but pretty good. Halloween, yeah, it's a great title as far as just getting straight to it. It's a movie that takes place on Halloween. Oh, whatever. I'm talking about titles. Friday the 13th. Yeah, well, then it just goes into let's name all our horror movies after holidays. There's never really been a horror. I don't think there's been a horror movie that's just been called Christmas. This police officer is so just shitty at his job. Oh man. Wait, why would she go upstairs? I think oh yeah, I guess to save her friend. Oh man, that's just actually, I don't know. It's been a while. I forgot she had that accent. She doesn't really talk that much. She mostly just reacts to stuff. Then again, main female character, like, because Laurie Strode in Halloween, she kind of barely talks. Her friends do most of the talking. Eh. Again, because it's just like, well, we want to make the characters relatable as possible, so we can't have them be all out there with their personality, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Well, it just seems kind of stupid to do it, because a killer is in your house. Like, there's no way you could stand a chance. And if you don't hear anything, then chances are your friends are dead. Just get out of there, or they just snuck out. Just leave. No fucking point in going upstairs with a poker or whatever, the fireplace poker, I guess is what they call them. No point. Just leave. Get into your car and just drive away. Or at least just sort of stand in the, just stand around on the front yard. Come on, just do something a little more. Again, there's not much of a movie left. If she doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That wreath has like, I guess alcohol. I don't know, something on it. Bottles at the very least. Yeah, so her friends are dead. Okay, so it was totally worth the trip, going upstairs just to. Oh fuck! I'm hearing some kind of noise. That's probably the image of Billy's eye. That's probably the I guess the besides the bag over the girl's head, that's probably the second most iconic image from this movie. I'd say. It's creepy, and again, it's just they only show his eye. That's all you ever get to see, and you get to see bits and pieces of him, but you never get to see that face. I kind of wonder if the killer, because I think, like, the whole movie, the killer just kills whoever comes to him, basically. He's kind of like a spider in that way. I don't believe he ever goes to somebody to kill them. Usually he's sort of, I think the whole movie he's hiding out, and then eventually he comes out and kills them. The only time I think he doesn't do that is with The fucking Margot Kidder character. But that was only because she was sleeping. Easy target. Compare that to Michael Myers. Michael Myers. Oh man, indigestion. Oh fuck. Michael Myers, for the most part, he doesn't wait for you to show up. Usually, he does kind of do that sometimes. Yeah, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a fucking cat outside screaming. I hate cats. Ah, man. Looks like a fun street to be on during Christmas. Especially to hear all those police sirens. The police have just, they're always helpful in a horror movie. They're just doing their best. They're just getting jobs done all the time. Every time a police officer walks into frame in a horror movie, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna make all the right decisions. Totally. But no, seriously, it always just feels like an empty gesture to put a police officer in a horror movie. Just like, oh yeah, there's going to be an effort put into keeping characters alive. No, there is not. Fucking bullshit. I just keep checking the runtime, hoping for the movie to end soon. So, not because I hate doing this, it's just I don't know what to talk about. So I'm trying to come up with shit to talk about to fill the rest of this 10 fucking minutes. Ugh. God damn it. Again, this is where the movie takes an interesting turn with its ending. Like a really great turn. And essentially the main character, I know I'm gonna explain it, but it's a really great ending. But the main character kills her boyfriend because she believes that her boyfriend is the killer. She believes that her boyfriend had a bone to pick with her and was maybe crazy the whole time. And that turns out to, yeah, I don't know, that breaking the window, he's not making a great case for himself, that boyfriend. You don't want to trash the place when it was he made some poor choices up to his death. He kind of deserved to die just based on that, I guess. Oh my god, another thing I just realized though, at the end of the movie, that chick is, I guess she's still pregnant with his child, though. I guess with him dead, she wanted to get an abortion, so I don't think there's not going to be a whole lot of reason left. Unless maybe she finds out later, assuming that she isn't killed by the killer who is still in the house at the end of the movie. Maybe she feels remorse for killing her boyfriend, so she decides to keep the child. Maybe. In reverence to him or something, like, well, I killed that fucking guy. I might as well at least do something for him. Because, in that situation, if you kill... Okay, here's where I draw the line. If you kill your boyfriend and you're pregnant with his child, you keep that fucking baby. If you kill the boyfriend because you assume he was a killer, but no, he was an innocent man, you keep that child, okay? I'm pro-choice, I guess. Well, I'm... In the sense that... Okay, I don't know why I'm talking about fucking abortion. But you keep that fucking child if you kill an innocent man that you were pregnant with, and you got pregnant consensually. You keep that child in that case, okay, ladies? All right. Great, we had this chat. Oh god, this is terrible. Fucking terrible commentary. Okay. So yeah, all in all, it's a total bummer ending, But that's the best kind of ending for a horror movie, because sometimes with bummer endings for stuff that was for stuff that was mostly just upbeat and fun. Bummer endings not so great with that kind of stuff, but with horror movies, they have to be a bummer. They really have to be a bummer. The best endings to horror movies have to be fucking bummers. I don't want to be uplifted at the end of a horror movie. I want to be like, oh man, that sucked. That's how I should feel. Night of the Living Dead, super bummer ending. All the characters died. Great ending, honestly. Because it's just like they all just tore each other apart, and the one guy who kept his shit together, he gets killed. Ow, but I should be talking about Black Christmas's ending. Black Christmas's ending, she kills her boyfriend. Boyfriend was innocent. Killer's still in the house. Killer's probably going to finish her off while she's sleeping. He's just waiting. It's a pretty fucked up ending, you know? And if she, and if she does get out of there alive, she might get an abortion after that. Oh man, kind of a dark ending. And that dad, he is just loyal as loyal can be. He's just sticking around the whole time, making sure that he's in the same room as this chick that's taking a nap. He just now faints? Yeah. How many characters died in this movie? Okay, there was the girl who's... Actually, okay, let me think. Did any dudes die in this movie? Let me think. Actually, I don't think any male characters died in this movie besides the boyfriend that she killed. So I don't think the killer killed a single dude in this movie. There was the girl with the bag, and then after that, there was I think the next character that died was the house mother, and then after that, before all that, there was also the little girl. Then there was Margot Kidder, or Margot Kidder, however the hell you pronounce her name, I don't know. And then finally there was Andrea Martin. So I'd say, 5 characters were killed by this guy. So, decent body count. Oh, and this movie kind of does the Halloween thing that Halloween did, where it kind of shows the, with this it's the aftermath, but in Halloween it kind of showed all the different places I guess Michael Myers was at. But that was more to establish that the killer was still out there. Well, actually, no. With Halloween, it was more, he can be anywhere. Because you hear the breathing all over the place. So, yeah. That was a great ending. Oh, fuck. Again, that kind of ending for Halloween, one of the reasons maybe that Halloween is better than Black Christmas, but whatever. Black Christmas is still an excellent horror movie. And I'm glad I rewatched it. This wasn't the ideal way to watch it, bleeding to death while talking over it, but it was enjoyable getting to rewatch it. Man, this part is pretty slow though. Jeez, But yeah, essentially, killer's still up there. I guess he was just chilling out the whole time. I guess maybe he saw the boyfriend and got spooked and just went back to the attic to hang out with the corpse of the suffocated chick. And yeah, the police sucked in this movie. They didn't do any thorough investigating. Oh my god. There's a fucking cat yowling in the back. I fucking hate this place. Yeah, and you can see in the window. You can see stuff in the window. Yeah, the police sucked in this movie. I mean, they tried, but trying and still sucking, yeah, whatever. Ah. Well, I mean, I think the police are still sort of hanging out, but that killer could just walk out. I don't know why they left the girl pretty much alone in that room. Like, they don't know how many killers there were. They don't know the whole story. Well, the killer's harmless right now. He's trying to make a phone call inside the house. Oh, but man, that great horror movie ending. It's a great ending to a great horror movie. It Black Christmas wasn't a huge influence, but it did a lot of the stuff that later horror movies did. So it's great to see that. And it's also great that they didn't really have there's no soundtrack or anything. It's just the ringing of the telephone for the credit music or whatever you could consider this. I guess credit sound effects, whatever. Oh man, indigestion again. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I guess I'm just gonna bleed to death right now. Yeah, I had a good run. Oh shit. Okay, somebody's in this fucking house right now. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta try to hide. Who's in here? Sir? Goulash, what are you doing in Mexico? Mexico? This is the Wolfula, your home. Where have you been this whole time? I've just been wandering through Mexico, I guess, and now I'm here back at home. Huh. Yeah, I guess you just walked home. You know, it's kind of like how a dog can find their way home sometimes. They just remember. Yeah, it's a great comparison, comparing me to a fucking dog. Thank you, Goulash. Well, could you... I'm fucking bleeding to death. Could you call an ambulance or something? Sir, you know they're not coming here anymore, okay? Alright, fine. Can you just get some bandages or something? I'm starting to see a bright light. Come on. Okay, so Goulash is getting some bandages, and hopefully I won't die. I assume that this will be posted on Christmas, I guess, so, Merry Christmas! Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap now, okay,